Greetings all. Got my oolong tea. Well, it's in my Dunkin' Donuts cup, but don't say anything. But it's oolong tea. Love me some oolong. Anyway, I'm not going to wait for anyone to jump on because I just came on to talk about this very important topic. First, let me say I have on my You First Helping the Homeless with Love t-shirt. Shout out to Erica Wright, who is the founder, visionary, and executive director of You First. Bam. Very important work that Reverend Wright does. So I wanted to log on to just talk to you about the art of doing nothing. I'm particularly talking to women because a lot of times women are really challenged with just stopping and doing nothing. You know, we're called human beings for a reason, and we are really good at doing. Every time, every video you can click on, every Facebook post that you can read that's about what somebody is doing and getting the hustle and the grind, and we are driving ourselves into an anxiety pit. Did you know that 40 million Americans age 18 and older suffer from anxiety? I mean, it's an epidemic in this country. And did you also know that the American Psychiatric Association didn't even recognize anxiety disorders before 1980? You know, it was just sort of called stress or nerves prior to that. But the APA recognized the anxiety disorders in 1980. So this is relatively new for us. And I think with the advent of technology, it's just growing because people can access us, 24/7. As a matter of fact, people will text you, and if you haven't texted them back or messaged them back in 30 minutes, an hour, they're just like, what's wrong with you? Something is wrong with you. No, something is wrong with the fact that we don't stop and take time to do nothing. Yesterday, I spent the entire day doing absolutely zero, and it felt good. Hey, Patrice. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not Pierce. Hey. And Sky. I hope that you all take away from this live an intention to do nothing, to create some space, carve out some space for yourself where you just give yourself permission to do nothing, because oftentimes we just feel guilty for stopping and just doing nothing. And look, the East is better at this. America is very much around the grind, the doers, and there's a high value on doing and not enough value on just stopping and being. So I want to say that there is a couple of tools I want to share with you, because I do think there is an art to doing nothing, right? So there is the nothing that you can do that's sort of just mindless. You're going to stay in bed and sort of binge watch some things, and those things are great. Just give your body time to heal, because it is in those moments of doing nothing that our body actually repairs itself, that we get to listen to the intuition that we have unfiltered. So I want to give you a couple of tips. One, to really get you present in the moment, the art of doing nothing and just being, is mindful breathing. Well, what in the world is mindful breathing? Mindful breathing is just stopping and getting in touch with your breath, just paying attention to your breath. You can do it right now while you're listening to me, right? Just do it right now. If you're going to do it right now, give me a thumbs up or a like, so I know that you know what I'm talking about. But if you focus on your breath, focusing on your breath is the best way to get present, to just get present in the moment, in the right now moment. So mindful breathing. The second thing is intentional observation. So this is go take a walk somewhere and just really observe everything around you. Just look at the leaves on the trees, the shapes, look at the way the wind is blowing things as you're walking. Just be present in that moment. All of this is about getting present in that moment. The other thing is taking silent retreats. Sometimes we just talk too much, like I talk for a living. So there are times where I just have to shut it down and do nothing and stop talking and do more listening, not just listening to other people, but listening to myself, the voice inside of me, the intuition, the universe, the God of my understanding. Really, we can't always hear it because we're doing too much chatter. We're thinking about all the things we need to do for the day, or making lists in our head, or replaying conversations. And sometimes we just have to stop and have unfiltered moments of just listening to the universe and getting present and getting silent. Hey, Lynn. So it's really important to just do nothing, be okay. Don't feel guilty about it. Again, we have 40 million adults suffering from anxiety. We are in a rapid pace toward anxiety and depression. We are overwhelming ourselves with doing, and getting. And living is about balance. We call that the ma'at in the Kemetic language. In the ma'at, balance is important. And so we have to find ways to just be as well as we do. Hey, Michelle. Yes. So Michelle, I know you know the importance of being. So let me just go run back through before I end this live of the things that will help you master the art of doing nothing. Be okay with it. And that is mindful breathing, just stopping and focusing on your breath. I'm not talking about any complicated meditative breathing. I'm talking about simply just stopping and paying attention to your breath, right? And that brings you fully into the present moment. The second thing is intentional observation. We move through the world so much, our brain is taking in so much information, we don't actually stop to really observe all of the things around us. And so, this is where life is happening. Life is happening in those little moments that we sort of take for granted. And I'm encouraging you to stop and not take it for granted, but rather to absorb it in, to bring it in to your being, because we are human, beings. So intentional observation, take a walk, sit on your deck, and just really observe the bugs, the insects, the birds, the trees, the way things are, the wind is blowing, and all of that, and just take it into your being, and not seeing it as separate from you, but seeing yourself as one with all of those things. Then we are talking about silent retreats. So I've talked to you in other videos before about the importance of taking a silent retreat. Why? Because we talk so much. We are overwhelmed with just talking, and we're not listening as much as we should be. Not just listening to people in direct, around us, to the people, but listen to the universe, to what the earth is saying to us. Just listening, just being present, and not feeling obligated to put words into everything. Greetings, Jen. Hi, how are you? Hey, Carol. Oh my goodness, Carol, I haven't seen you in a long time. I hope all is well. Yes, Michelle says, definitely a goal of mine. Oh, the joy of silence. Silence can be so beautiful, and silence can speak volumes to us, because all the things, we spend a lot of time in prayer, right? People pray all the time. Even if you don't formally pray, you're asking the universe for things, but then we don't stop to listen to get the answers back. You can't get the answers back. So what I would like for you to do is share with me some of the things you do when you do nothing. Just type real quick, what is it? First of all, do you give yourself permission to just do nothing without feeling guilty, without calling yourself, a bum today, or I'm gonna be a bum today, and not putting any negative connotation to it, but just say, listen, I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to enjoy doing nothing. Michelle says, I do, guilt-free. Good for you, Michelle. And what do you do, Michelle, when you are in your do nothing phase? What do you do? I sit in my hammock in the middle of my day. Yes. In Philly, I haven't been there, but there's a hammock park in Philadelphia. I plan to be in New Jersey the 1st through the 5th or 6th of June. And my mother and I are planning to go to this hammock park. So it's just a park, a sea of hammocks that are placed there by the city. And people can go there and just do nothing, because we're starting to understand the impact on commerce, the impact on relationships that anxiety has. And so there's this constant way of trying to find ways to integrate the art of being and the art of doing nothing in everyday life. So if you're anywhere near Philly, check out the hammock park. I'm certainly going to do it. That your girl is going to go live when I'm there, so I can show you and we can check it out together. Okay. So Tian says, I had to learn to do that. Yes, to stop and just do. And it's a shame that we have to learn it or relearn it, right? Because we come in the world with a lot of knowledge that gets untaught to us, right? It gets systematically, we unlearn a lot of things. Okay, so I had to learn that. Lynn says, yesterday I just listened to the rain inside. The rain, the sound of the rain, how peaceful is that, right? It's like music. Oh my goodness. Like, listen to the rain. And what is the rain communicating? Michelle says, you feel like you are in the middle of the elements, just floating there, suspended in the middle of air. Absolutely. And sitting in the hammock just gives you that feeling. I sit outside my house and look around nature. Yes. Yet that is the part. So one of the other tools I gave you was the intentional observation. Nature is so profound. Mother Nature gives us so much information, right? I, as a writer and a poet, nature is my muse, and I'm never out of supply of it, right? So if I take my book, my journal, or my writing book out, and I just sit out and really watch nature, really tune into it, not on your Facebook, not on your Instagram or your Twitter, not checking in with your phone, but turn the phone off. How about that? How about having a technology-free day? Right? What about that? What does that feel like to even say, turn your technology off? I'm not going to freak you out and say do it for a day, but how about we just do it for, I don't know, a couple of hours? Just turn it off. I don't mean turn it on silent. I mean, turn it off. Become inaccessible for that moment and just give yourself time to practice what? The art of being. We get shamed out of it. Absolutely. We get shamed out of just taking time to be. We do get shamed out of it. People would say, oh, you being a bum today? No, I'm not being a bum. What is lazy? Let me just tell you this. Overwhelming your schedule, and I really want you all to hear me on this one. Overwhelming your schedule with things and feeling like you have to constantly be from this to thing is creating FOMO for people, right? The fear of missing out, which has become a big thing, right? We even have an acronym for it, FOMO. But overwhelming your schedule and constantly being overly busy all the time is a form of spiritual laziness. That's right. I said it. Yes. Entrepreneurs get this message more than most. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Janice. Hey, honey. Nice to see you here. Well, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to recap this importance of doing nothing, also check the link, because I'm going to give you a free tool. A free tool is my self-care template. And I'm going to put the link into this live so that you can grab it for free. My hope is that you use it. It is a fillable document, so you don't even have to like print it out. You can fill it in and save it and share it with your circle. You'll see it's really self-explanatory. Janice says, I live in the country now, so much peace. I never get bored. Yes, very good. Han says, yes, I believe that. Thanks for this good word. Thank you, Michelle, for joining in. Michelle says, thanks for the good word. So I'm going to leave you with I'm going to back up and give you these tools, these 3 tools again. Mindful breathing, to just take a moment. You don't have to do any fancy breathing. Just stop, take a moment, and just pay attention to your breath. Slow down and just breathe. Because guess what? If you don't stop, you'll end up with a health crisis that will stop you, okay? And hopefully you survive it, right? Because sometimes we get taken out of this world without, stopping to take the world in. And when you do, I assure you, your company is going to hire someone else. Even if you own your own business, it'll either stop or someone else will take it over. But life keeps happening. You know that phrase, life is for the living? I used to not get that until after my father died, and I would go in the grocery store and be like, these people are just still going on. We went to his job to pick up his stuff. It was over in a little box. And that was it, because life keeps moving. So you either stop and check in and stabilize yourself in this moment to really enjoy it, or it will take you out. So mindful breathing, intentional observation, take a moment to you could do it right now, wherever you are right now. Just stop and have you really observed your space? Look around, pay attention to the details that you take for granted. Silent retreats. Take a silent retreat. If you can't do it for a whole day, just do it for a couple of hours. Turn off your technology and just listen. Decide to not speak. Don't answer a phone, and just tune in with you, because you are the most important asset you have in this world. And you are the only asset you have that you even have a modicum of control over, because there's a lot of things about our own being we don't even control. You are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth it. I wish you peace. I wish you love.